Hi, everybody. This is Lee, and I'm talking about Wisconsin and their state legislature and the new take on opioid usage. In a previous video, I spoke of African Americans who have been targeted underneath the war on drugs, primarily for use of crack cocaine and or marijuana usage and possession. And then the concept of civil asset forfeiture, their convictions and their imprisonment, their incarceration, and then the fact that they are often used for labor and that they are actually slaves to the state, and that there is a financial incentive to seize their assets. To first racially target them, racially profile them, seize their assets, sometimes without due process, without an actual arrest, without an actual conviction, and then sometimes without, even incarceration, their assets are seized. And then if they are incarcerated, then their labor is seized, and they are slaves to the state, stripped of everything, every financial resource. And again, primarily for crack cocaine usage and then marijuana usage, possession. So we come to Wisconsin and the fact that the Wisconsin Assembly has passed opioid legislation, that they have 9 bills aimed at fighting opioid addiction, usage, possession, and that Governor Scott Walker has actually called for a special session in January to address opioid addiction. And so it has resulted in these 9 bills, including a measure to create a publicly funded charter school for recovering opioid addicts and funding for treatment programs, law enforcement agencies, and mental health training. And so those bills are now going to the Senate, and that Wisconsin is one of the 25 Republican trifectas, and that another state, Maryland, is also taking similar action underneath the leadership of Governor Larry Hogan, who is also Republican. He signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency, committing $50 million to fund enforcement, prevention, and treatment services related to opioids. And that in February, that New Jersey Governor Christie also signed legislation into law that limits initial prescriptions for pain-killing opioids to 5 days and requires insurance companies to accept addicts into treatment programs without delay. And so we see that specifically opioid users are being provided with emergency treatment, counseling, things like this, that they are being seen as health issues rather than criminal issues. And so that's the other side of the coin between certain groups of people who use drugs and then other certain people who use another type of drug, and how they're being treated differently under the law. And so I'm going to post the text of this information that I found in Ballotpedia in the description for you to review and to contemplate on the difference and the possibilities, and the fact that rather than specifically saying opioids, these bills in Wisconsin and other states could easily have included other types of drug users as well, but they specifically focus on opioids. And so I'm going to let people reflect on that and review on what could have been done and what should still be done. Good luck.